Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Representative Franson. You and I have had many, many discussions on the dangers of vaccine passports and the efforts that have been pushed along. I am wondering if you can enlighten me. You've enlightened me on some of these efforts. I'm wondering if you could please enlighten the body. I think it would be very helpful in their consideration in voting no to the Freiberg Amendment.
Representative Franson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and Representative Lucero. So my opinion is that freedom, Representative Lucero, is the hill we should all die on. Freedom has been secured with our blood, sweat, and tears and lots of lives. And vaccine passports are antithetical to the freedom in a free society. One's freedom, Representative Lucero, is not determined by big government, big pharma, big tech, or big business. What was once considered a conspiracy theory is now mainstream. And Representative Lucero, it's not just the United States talking about this, it's countries all over the world, such as Ireland, where the Minister of Enterprise, Trade and Employment, Mr. Varadkar, recently said, we expect there to be 10 to 15% of people who will refuse the vaccine and just don't want it, although they may change their minds if the ability to travel and attend mass are linked to it. Also, today, Representative Lucero, there was an MSNBC panel where the panelist said this: I don't know how we get to herd immunity unless we normalize the framework around vaccine certification. So instead of now calling it a vaccine passport, Representative Lucero, they are changing the terminology to sound less ominous. And he goes on to say, listen, we are doing it in colleges. Some organizations are doing it. We are in a global crisis. We have to reach herd immunity, and the carrot and stick of the you get the vaccine, you will be able to participate in travel, restaurants, you name it, because that's frankly the easier for small businesses to adhere to. They need to be let go of these erroneous mitigation efforts, and they need to be able to transition to a paradigm where they are just checking people's verification status at the windows so they can get to 100% capacity in their indoor dining, you name it. Whether it's going to a hotel, we have to start normalizing the framework. This is the conversation that is taken in place in the US and around the world. And as you stated, Representative Lucero, the federal government and Governor Walz have said they are not looking at instituting a vaccine passport, but nothing precludes businesses from instituting one on their own. If you recall, Representative Lucero, the whole mask deal, right? First, big business instituted one, but not enough businesses were going along. So big business went to their best friend, big government, and bam, they begged for a statewide mask mandate. We got one. The same will be with this, the vaccine passport. Representative Lucero, this, in my opinion, is abuse. And abusers don't simply stop when asked. One needs to literally flee the situation, seek help and refuge. Representative Lucero, there is nowhere for us to flee if this passport is adopted. There is nowhere to seek help or refuge if this passport is adopted. The abuse must end now, and it ends by voting for your bill. We should not be adopting the Representative Freiberg's amendment. We should never, ever accept being governed by big government, big pharma, big tech, and big business. A vaccine passport just doesn't stop, Representative Lucero, with a COVID vaccine. It's the start. Imagine vaccines being developed or haven't been developed yet. Imagine a world where one has to prove their vaccine status in order to get a job, open a bank account, apply for a loan, travel outside your own zip code. This conspiracy is as real as the vaccine passport conspiracy was just a few months ago. What was tinfoil hat is mainstream discussion, and so will this hypothetical that I just laid out. Oops, we see you haven't had your booster for XYZ disease. Sorry, you can't access your checking account. Oh yeah, we also have a lien on your home until you get caught up. Representative Lucero, C.S. Lewis said, of all tyrannies, a tyranny sincerely exercised for its good of its victims may be the most oppressive. It would be better to live under robber barons than under omnipotent moral busybodies. And I want to remind you, Representative Lucero, this has not been mentioned yet, but under the PrEP Act, EUA vaccines, which is what the COVID vaccines are under, emergency use authorization, they cannot be required, and creating a passport is coercion, and coercion is not consent. I hope I have answered your question.
Representative Lucero.